Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this is Bloodbraid Elf Zoo, Naya Zoo. Except, by the way, we also have collected companies because, basically I'm a sucker for the card. I won't lie. But it works very well. It's sort of Bloodbraid Elf 5 through 6. We're playing a couple companies in the deck. What it is another 4-drop that gives you a lot of value when you play it. And that's really all it is. That's all it comes down to. It's pretty simple. You have a nice competitive deck with a lot of nice early draw creatures, and then you just also have some really strong top end that can put multiple bodies into play, and that's really nice to have both of those things working together for that. Now, this is not completely ideal here. We don't have the right mana. We're against Affinity clearly here, Mox Opal Midnight. I think our opponent's hand is not super insane. I don't think I'm getting anywhere by just playing Scavenging Ooze. I think you need to play this Hierarch here. It's not super mana efficient this turn, but it doesn't necessarily change things. If we hit a land, we can still play 2 spells. Should have played it pre-combat, though, so I missed the point of damage. That was pretty bad. I'm sorry. It's late at night, and sometimes you play dumb. What can I say? If we lose this game by 1 point, I'll certainly feel bad. But we have the Path to Exile here. Collected Company is a pretty nice one as well. Our opponent, by the way, must also have needed some help there and did not get it. We'll get in for 3 with our Hierarch, put our opponent down to 15. And now play this Voice of Resurgence, which I believe is better than Scavenging Ooze. Simply for the fact that if it gets blocked in combat or whatever, leaves behind a pretty large token that, thanks to casting Wolf Run, can make a difference by just trampling over for the damage. Our opponent did find what they wanted there. Found their land. They've got a Seal Overseer. That's pretty awkward. I'd love to just bolt it and not path it. Unfortunately, it's not an option we have. We have to path it. It would have been much better to just bolt it. And then we could even eat it with Scavenging Ooze. So our deck not super cooperating here. Want to draw 1 land, please. 1 land is still very good. 1 land gives us Collected Company. Our opponent doesn't have any big threats in play. I would say that things are still looking all right for us here. Now, they have plenty of mana to work with. And theoretically, though, we have a lot of pressure. We have a Lightning Bolt for some reach or to, remove a blocker or what have you. And there's the plating. Okay, if plating's the best they have, that's not the worst for us. Vault Scourge is good. Come on, give me a land, please. Give me a fetch land deck. It's not exactly a fetch land. It's far from the worst, though. All right, this puts our opponent down to a 5 life. Now, so the thing about this Knight of the Reliquary is it is not the fetch land we wanted to have Lightning Bolt to get the Vault Scourge when they put plating on it, but next turn we can sacrifice the Temple Garden to go get a fetch land to produce red mana for the Bolt, which might be enough to kill them. Or to collect a company if that's the way it goes, but doubt that's the way it goes. And there's the Ravager. That's annoying. Yep. See if our opponent just wants to go in on this. Might not be wrong to go in on it. They could turn the Blinkmoth Nexus, then they could sack 1, 2, 3, 4. They could make it a 10, go back up to 15. That would be pretty good. It looks like that's probably what's going to happen. We're probably going to die. Maybe not. Maybe they just want to do 7 here. All right, there's our land. Okay, well, I guess we start by attacking. Yeah, I guess there's just nothing to do here but swing with the team and see what happens. We might just be 1 turn off here. We have Ancient Grudges in our sideboard for Affinity, though, so that's good. Also, if our opponent goes down to 3, they die. That's a thing. All right, they're going to take 4 here. There's that. Well, this isn't going to work out great for our opponent if the plan is to modular onto this thing and then we get a lightning bolt it. And that is their plan. Somewhat unfortunate, we actually have to shock ourselves. It is relevant. It is the way it is, though. All right, so we'll bolt this thing. All right, this is good for us. This might be enough. We have to worry about plating on this blink moth. But the fact is, Ravager, we've cleared the board, though, so I'm certainly not going to complain about the situation we're in. And I get to follow up with the Scavenging Ooze and eat a creature, and we get to go back up to 7 for what it's worth. All right, well, let's see if this is enough. We're at 7, our opponent's at 8. They have 3 cards in hand and a plating, so it's still scary, but we, I guess, technically have collected company, which could get us into something good. And we could hit a Qasali Pride Mage, for instance, and use the Knight for our 5th mana to blow up the plating or whatever creature we need to deal with. But I think this is pretty good here. Our opponent doesn't have Metalcraft, so we can't get Galvanic Blasted to death, although we could. They could turn both these in, turn one of these into an artifact. All right. Do they have it? If they have Galv Blast, I think we die. That gives them Metalcraft. Yeah, if they have Galvanic Blast, we're dead. Oh, gosh. Well, nope, not if they tapped this. Okay, all right. I wonder if they... Okay, all right, we got there. That was crazy, but we did get there. Our Fiery Justice should be pretty good here. Ancient Grudge, obviously. Pass and Lavamancer. This is all what we want here. Lingering Souls is also great. Thalia, not necessarily great. Renegade Rally are fine. Knight of the Reliquary, just fine. Cut the companies. Basically, Ravager's the one I'm most scared of. Lingering Souls is great, though. I think I'm going to cut the other Rallier as well. A Rallier is certainly good, but it's basically just going to get lands. Our opponent's not really going to be killing a lot of our creatures. Need to cut one more card here. I might cut a Voice. I think this is fine. Voice just doesn't do much. I'll give this a shot. Voice is certainly good, but it's not. We don't exactly need a bunch of. We need to destroy our opponent's creatures more than we need to do anything special ourselves. I think I'm going to mulligan this hand. It's pretty bad. It's no red mana, which means we need to draw a land to even cast these spells. But drawing a 5th land is pretty bad anyways. So, all right. Yeah, I guess this one's better. This is certainly not ideal. And yeah, I mean, I have to bottom that, I think. Well, no, I'll top it. We're going to draw. I don't know. There's only 2 colorless lands in the deck, and I'm just getting hosed by them. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have kept that Lightning Bolt. Our opponent's got a nice hand over there. Wow, okay. Last card? Did they do it? They did it. Turn 1, they played all 6 of their cards. There you go. That said, it's actually not very good for our opponent. They put 2 power into play. All right, let's get a stomping ground out here. And play the Wild Nicatl, 2/2 Wild Nicatl. Relic of Virginitas does mess with our Knight of the Reliquary and Scavenging Ooze plans. That said, it's just a Vault Scourge beatdown for the foreseeable future. I think we'll be okay. Springleaf Drum doesn't matter much, and that's a nice one for us. I wish I could fetch a Plains. Cannot. I think I'm going to bolt this. Go get a Sacred Foundry, do damage to ourselves. Or I guess a Temple Garden. Yeah, definitely Temple Garden. Play out another Nikado. Obviously, we've done ourselves a ton of damage. We get very blown out by a cranial plating, but we're going to get blown up by cranial plating at any point of the game anyways. We just have to put as much damage play as possible and hope our opponent draws blanks because, you know, they have a lot of power cards they could draw, and we are certainly worse off against Steel Overseer or something like that. I'm not sure about this attack, but I will block. Galvblast? Sure. Yeah, our opponent for they have some draws in their deck that are, you know, basically more or less unbeatable for us, but to be fair, well, that helps too. They also have infinite bad draws in terms of like cards that just don't do anything for them. You know, Mimnites, Ornithopters, Springleaf Drums, Lands. Like, there's a lot of cards in their deck that are not good draws. Even Galvanic Blast is just okay. We get to play out a Knight of the Reliquary. It's nice and big, it's a 4/4 now, but I imagine this Relic Virginitas will be sacrificing pretty soon. Drawing the Lightning Bolt is nice, though. It means now that they can't get us with, you know, a Steel Overseer, for instance. You know, it's 4 cards that don't really do anything now because we just get to answer them with Lightning Bolt. And now the Reliquary pretty small at the moment, but can make itself larger. And heck, just being a 2/2, I guess, is pretty okay on this board. And there you go. There's Steel Overseer. That's if our opponent was going to draw an action card, that's the one we want him to draw. We get a Lightning Bolted out of the game. We even get to play a Scavenging Ooze after this. I guess I want to make my Knight of the Reliquary larger because we have this Kessig Wolf Run in play. So I'm just going to get in there for 3 here. I don't think attacking for 2 is worth it. We'll sacrifice Temple Garden. We'll go get a fetch land. We'll fetch. All of a sudden, our Knight's a 4/4, and give them away Kessig Wolf Run that we can later give the Knight trample. You know, the 2 damage we would have done with it here on this turn is just by putting 2 lands in our graveyard. We'll be doing 2 more damage with it that can trample later. Also important, give an Edge Champion. All right, well, here we go. We'll fetch out a Force this time around. That way we can even use this to eat this Steel Overseer here and gain a life right back. Another fetch land is pretty good as well. I don't have any white mana currently. All right, so let's see here. If I attack with a team, do I win? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and fetch now. Get a Sacred Foundry here, put it in the play tapped. Also, we clear our deck out of lands this way, which is pretty good. I might be able to force a chump block out of our opponent. That would be pretty good. The Edge Champion is great, but it's actually not even large enough to kill any of our creatures. I think we might just kind of have it here. I guess I still want Temple Garden. All right, if I attack with everything, if my opponent makes no blocks, they're obviously dead. If they put this in front of this, then they take 6, and I could just give it trample, which would be 3, which is 9, which does not kill them. So in that case, it's a little worse. Let's just attack with these 2 creatures. We just need to fade basically 1 more draw step from our opponent here. I guess the Edge Champion and the Midnight can team up to kill one of our creatures. That's probably what our opponent will do, I suppose. It's not particularly good for them. Not bad for them either, I suppose. Yeah, okay, this is sort of the line I expected. Let's see if they think about it. I guess there's no reason not to. Yeah, you may as well take out something while you can. All right. But you know what? Even our opponent having one less artifact in play is relevant as well for cranial plating. I didn't get any land I want here, but all I really want is a plains to play this Force Resurgence. Maybe I should have got a fetch. I probably should have got a fetch there, actually. I was a little worried about my life total, but that was just wrong. But good enough. Our opponent didn't draw anything. There you go. That's actually just a lot of power there. As Keswick Wolf Run means that when we attack with this thing, even if our opponent chump blocks the 3/3, which, by the way, would have been larger than the 3/3, but they say they chump block the 4/4, they take 2, go to 5, and then all of a sudden this thing tramples over for 5 because it becomes 7 power when we pop with Wolf Run. 5 goes over the champion even though it has protection, and they die. So there you go. That Keswick Wolf Run, despite messing up our mana a little bit in the early game when we needed colors, turns out it's a pretty good one. And the Reliquary, great card in Modern. There you go, everybody. Thank you for watching. Oh, this deck was great.